What if I told you you don't need to be forever 21 to be beautiful? Think back to when you were a young girl. Who taught you what a beautiful woman is supposed to look like? For most of us, we were schooled by magazine covers, commercials, or even music videos. It created this view in us that you were valuable if you looked a certain way or if you stayed frozen in time. I know that trap all too well because that illusion was my reality. As a young lady, I was completely brainwashed by the Cosmopolitan magazine view. I was signed with a local modeling agency, and while I didn't pursue that for long, my worldview was already skewed by that look of the Vogue magazine. I was completely obsessed with being thin or being extra skinny. That has impacted my life even up to now. If I see too much food on a plate, I feel completely overwhelmed. The heartbreaking part is when we're trapped in this mindset, we tend to judge ourselves and we even judge our other sisters for not looking that certain way. But time moves and biology happens, and we're gonna unlearn that pressure together. Welcome back, and if you're new here, I am Satisha, and I'm so excited to have this conversation with you today. Let's be honest, as we transition through these phases, we tend to look in the mirror and wonder why we look different. Well, today I'm here to remind us to look at ourselves and our sisters with grace. I know we've been trained to see these changes in our bodies as a failure of discipline, but that's a complete lie. The reality tells a different story. Our building blocks and our bodies naturally change where they distribute fat. Now, that's not failure, that's just what happens. I know some of you might look at me and say, Satisha, you have skinny genetics. It's easy for you to stand there and speak about grace. And you're right, I am skinny. I've always been thin. But even with this thin frame, I still face internal changes. My skin is shifting, my muscles are changing, and while all of us have different changes to experience, none of us can escape time. When a woman transitions between her 40s and 50s, the body naturally slows down and produces less estrogen. So if the body didn't adapt, this would leave her heart vulnerable and her bones brittle. To prevent this, the brain triggers a survival mechanism to find a new source of estrogen, and that is in the adipose tissues in the midsection. So your midsection naturally transforms into a secondary hormone factory to produce that baseline estrogen that your bones need to protect you from osteoporosis or to protect your cardiovascular health. Let's look at the changes in the face, that shifting jawline or the reducing volume in the face. Now, these are usually looked at as loss of beauty, but evolutionary, this is looked at as a profound change in status and in survival. As estrogen drops and testosterone percentages become slightly more dominant, the deep fat pads in the cheeks naturally descend and the facial bone structure undergoes minor remodeling. This deepens the line around the mouth and defines the jaw area differently. But in human anthropology, a softer, rounder face signals youth, vulnerability, and a need for protection. But as a woman matures into a tribal elder or leader, her facial architecture sharpens. Anthropologists note that these structural shifts create a face that naturally commands respect, projects ultimate authority, and signals to the rest of the community that she's a protector, a teacher, and a leader. So your body isn't breaking, hun. It's strategically preparing you to rule your next chapter. And yes, while there is a place for fitness, true fitness is not punishing yourself to recreate that old magazine look. So if your reflection has felt like a stranger lately, I want you to take a deep breath and know that you're just stepping into your majesty. If this brought you comfort, please comment the word beauty and share with a sister who might need some clarity. And if you need a private safe space to talk, click the link below to book your one-on-one clarity session with me. Thank you so much for sitting in with me today. See you next time in our clarity session. Remember to show yourself grace.